coat. How you feel?
I'm pretty good, I guess.
We're sure glad to have you in Austin.
Thank you, ma'am. You can let Doc come in and stand there if you want.
He said you can come in and stand over here if you want.
Doc, I got a rap to you.
Sit there with one of my lovely patients.
Well, hello. How are you doing?
What's your name?
Is this your? My name's Brenda.
Brenda? Okay.
Is this your first time here?
First time? Oh, no. I was
Right,
here.
I remember.
No, I was here so many times. I was probably here before you was born.
No.
I was here when you. I was here when I was even here when the sniper was doing the shooting. I was here that day.
My brother was
even
going
way
to
before.
university then. We were real scared.
Yeah. I was downtown then. Yes, I've been here a long time. How the television thing's doing pretty good?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good. Except, you know, I mean, it's the same
Yeah.
everywhere in every profession. You just have to work hard.
That's right.
You ready?
That's a good attitude.
Been rolling?
I've been wrong.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, well, we'll get started. It's real good to have you in Austin, Texas again. We're real pleased to have James Brown, the father of soul, here in Austin, Texas, the center of Texas. Miss Brown, you had so many stage titles. Soul Brother number one, Godfather of Soul. What is your definition of soul?
Well, soul is just a way of life, and it's a spirit, and the spirit is within us, and we have to react to the spirit, you know. It's doing things naturally. It's doing what makes you turn on.
Yeah. Well, you do turn the audiences on.
How are you thinking?
What does it feel like being a living legend? And you've been around for many generations to love your music. How do you feel being that kind of a legend in America?
Well, thank God I'm a world artist. That's the first thing. I'm just not an American artist. And I think a lot of people felt that when I was out of the business and out of the fields for a long time, that I had retired or wasn't in the business. But what it was, I was playing worldwide, and like, you may not see me for another 3 or 4 years, and I'm working, 8, 9 months out of a year, And this is the thing that most people don't understand.
So you don't really think about the fame that's attached to a living legend?
Oh, no. I never think about the fact that I'm a legend because life is something that I seek more of, I want to live as long as I can and die when I can't help it. So I don't even know nothing about being a living legend. I never quit living. Now, if the legend is trying to catch up with me, that's good.
Right. You set up a few radio stations across the country.
I had 3 radio stations a while back, and I was the first broadcaster of my origin to own 3 stations. I actually let people of my origin know that they could own stations, and it could be into communications to be a part of what can make the mind produce and grow. And that was my main reason. I never tried to make money off the stations. I want to try to enhance the determination of ethnic and people, whether they black or Spanish or Jewish or whatever, Italians or whatever. I just want people to know that they could get into it.
It did serve as an inspiration to a lot of people. What's happening with those radio stations today?
I don't have those stations anymore because I never wanted to make money. I wanted to serve the people, and if you're going to have the stations and try to serve the people, you should be funded by the government or some major institution. It's like public service. And that's basically what I did. I didn't try to make a lot of money because I spoke out on things, and I gave my all in all to it. I would do it again if I had never done it, but now that I've done it, then it's up to you people to do it. It's there for you, so you just keep on trying.
Okay.
I got a lot of things I have to do.
What, in your words, drove you, what circumstances were surrounding your writing, Black and I'm Proud? I'm Black and I'm Proud.
Well, I didn't want to talk about it, but I felt that people have an inferiority complex because of color of skin. It was really, to me, it was ignorant to even worry about what color your skin is. It's the idea, I'm going to do it, you know. Only time I see color is when I read newspapers, black and white, and sometimes they come with color pictures. And I just never really thought about it, but I said, you know, this is a service that I can do, because people believe in me. So I said, I'm going to write something that will take that stigma out of their mind, because it really never existed in the first place. And I was able to be successful, you know. Du Bois and Garvin and a lot of great leaders couldn't get that point across because they didn't know how to attack it. Mm-hmm. But I attacked it from a happy medium, and everybody accepted, you know, and they started raising their hand and getting off into a pride program, you know. Because I'm a little bit disgusted because a lot of people didn't understand the point that I was trying to project. I was trying to project and instill more pride, but by the same token, I never want them to go at any time to violence, because violence only proves defeat in what you're trying to do, because of the fact that if you go into scrapping thing where you're trying to rumble a little bit, you know, you blow what your main objective. And I think they're coming around to that now. Education was really my first and my greatest love. My first song towards helping humanity was Don't Be a Dropout, which I thought was 1,000 times more important than Black and Proud. I'll open up the door when I get it myself. But it seems that we were still hung up on something that didn't make sense. We were still buying cold creams, you know, trying to get away from where we was. And all kind of moisturizers and things, you understand?
Right.
Trying to give up the tan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, those songs are still relevant today.
I know they're relevant. They're relevant because of many things. But what's more relevant is you have to live with yourself. You got to sleep, eat, buy. All this is independent. You know, your self-independence is where you're at. And if you can get that across to yourself, no group is going to do anything. Never have been. There's never been a group that would do anything. I mean, even the Jewish people probably come from way behind, did a lot of things together, but they're not all together. No, the Spanish people are not all together. The Latin people are not together. The Germans are not all together. I think probably the most together a group of people in the world is probably the Orientals, and they're divided. Because you got the Chinese and Japanese and Vietnam, people out of Taiwan, and they have different concepts about things. So we should get away from thinking everybody's going to band together. That's a joke. It's still independent, you know. It's still independent. I mean, as much as you want to get into things, when you go off with your lady fella, or lady, when you go off with your man, you're going to be by yourself, so you don't want no crew. So it's about you individual anyway.
Well, let's change the subject here just a few minutes.
I didn't want to get into it, but you brought me there.
You have not only been a great star in the music field, but you've also gone off into the movie industry as well.
That's a door that has often been closed for minorities because surroundings don't call for that. I mean, what the story is probably about it didn't specify whether it should be ethnic or not, you know. And a lot of times, movie actors, I want to bring this up, will go, that happen to be of an origin, Hispanics or Afro-American, they won't go because they say, well, they didn't get a part for me. But you really got to go and seize their part for you, you know. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You have to play the part.
Yeah.
So
go seize the part. Like when I had to play a minister, it was easy because I've been into that long time. But we just got a new movie that's coming out called Dr. Detroit. I didn't have a long shot in it because we're really priming James Brown.
That's what I want to know
for the future,
about.
You know.
Yeah. What kind of part is that? What do we have to look forward to?
I was getting down the way I like to get down. We did get up off that thing, and it was bad, you know. Because Get Up Off That Thing was one of the songs that were overlooked because I was so direct and so funky. And now they got to bring it back. So now it's going to max out and get the real thing, you know.
Great. We'll look forward to that. When is it going to be released?
It'll be released May 6th. We have world premiere, proud in Detroit. It's going to be a fantastic thing.
Which means it'll probably take it a while to get to Texas, right?
Not that long.
Great.
You know, Texas is a big state, so it takes a long time to get across it. It's not the fact that you're slow, you know. You may be walking a little slow.
Leisurely.
Yeah.
All right.
Right
all
on,
right.
sis.
Tell us a little bit about your relationship with the Blues Brothers in that great
Was
film.
the Blues Brothers to me was top 15 all time. My hat's off to John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd. And most of you out there don't know it. These guys felt that black America was being cheated and had been overlooked. You know, John Belushi was really one great person. I mean, one person that goes right with the Kings, the Kennedys, the Boyces, the Garveses, and all the people that were freedom fighters, Bonaparte or whatever, you know, because he felt that we were being counted out. He said, James Brown, so we were talking about the picture, he said, wouldn't it be great to see James Brown up there as a minister, rapping to people? You know, if you didn't see the Blues Brothers.
I did.
Okay. I don't know whether you checked out my script, my rapping, but my rap was very much on time, you know. It said, it was a strange rap there. My manager and I were discussing yesterday morning. He said, you know, I think a lot of people overlook what you were saying. You know, said,
There was a lot going on.
yeah, but see, but you should listen to the rap. You know, the rap was, the rap was strong. I remember when I cut the song years ago, Brother Rap, and I was talking then, they didn't hear me, you know? I mean, they didn't hear me, and it hurts because by not hearing me then, it's too late to rectify some of that stuff now. Should have heard me then. While the water was hot, we should have kept on, you know, cleaning up a lot of things. And now you got to heat the water again.
What's in the future for James Brown?
My future, I'm going heaven to films, and I'm getting ready to do a life story picture that's going to be filmed by some Lithuanians. That's the country beyond Denmark, or right at it's over in the Soviet country. But they want to film James Brown and with a group of American people because James Brown's a story they want everybody to know about it. They've changed me from Soul Brother No. 1 to Godfather Soul to Mr. Dynamite. Now they say I'm a gladiator because I keep on going, you know. So the Vikings now wants to film James Brown.
Everybody wants James Brown.
Well, you know, James Brown is you. James Brown is you out there. I didn't make James Brown. Thank God that he gave me the energy to carry out the role. But I was just playing a part for humanity. And I'm still playing a part for humanity. That's my role. And my role has gotten beyond a social thing, because a social thing will remain the same until we change it individually. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we got to change ourselves individually, you know. You can't expect people to keep changing it for you. That's like getting your food and asking somebody to eat it for you. The same things you have to do yourself. And I found it out over the 60s. You know, I gave my heart and everything to it. But when the going got rough, a lot of people, 90% of the politicians, backed up and walked away from me. I had to come back, with God help, another direction. I came back through the country rock clubs. And I come back, and today it's bad, but you'll see 90% non-blacks at my concert. And that's because the blacks sit there and overlooked it. They overlooked it and let themselves got hung up with disco music. It had one change in it. It's not even music. You know, a disco song is when I do one of my songs, and at the very end, we start shouting something at the very end and staying on that one chord, you know? And it's very sickening to know that people have such a great talent and get hung up on such a menial things and not get into music. I'm a jazz man. I started soul music from with the technicalities and the technique of jazz with the feeling of gospel. And I created a thing called soul music. Now I'd go on a change, a minor 7, 6, F diminished or whatever, and I'd stay on it for 32 bars, which was different from basically what Beethoven, Mozart, Schubert, and Bach, and Strauss, and all those fellows were into. But I let them know that I was independent, I could do what I want. I mean, the laws of music were there telling me not to do it, but they got to remember, I was picking cotton, you understand? And I was shining shoes, and I was doing all the catering things that didn't really have a mainstream job, a mainstream concept to make it. So when I got into the music, I did it my way. And it came out to set up a precedent in the music world. But I didn't intend for them to stay there. You know, that's like singing Black and Proud today. I mean, you say it's very much relevant. It's not to me, it's irrelevant. Because if you're going to stop to talk about how proud you are, exercise it. Don't tell people I'm black and proud. They can see you. You understand? And if you don't know what color you are, look in the mirror. I thought it was a setback for me to say it loud, I'm black and proud. But I saw it was needed because we were so far behind. But open the door, I get it myself. To me, it's more heavier, you understand?
Well, you're talking about different directions.
I'm talking about one direction, straight ahead.
Well, I want to
And
know.
look, if I'm my next birthday, May 3rd, I'll be 50 years old. Look at the way I look, look at the way I act, and you see the way I get on that stage, I didn't take care of business. And I see my son, I got sons, I mean, they really can't even get out of bed, you know, I can't take care of the job. And I just don't understand it. I mean, my oldest son was in my office in back east, and he was like executive vice president, okay? And knowing later on he's gonna be president, chairman, everything, because it was really for my family. And I couldn't never get that cat to open his own office. You know, what you gonna do for yourself? Now, he can't pick it because his daddy had put him there. See, so we don't need all that other stuff. We're still marching and wearing our shoes out. You know, we should save that money for something else. Do what you gotta do and do it. All that other stuff it's obsolete. And I'm not gonna go out there and do all that stuff that the King and them did in 6 days, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I love King. I think one of the greatest men ever lived, you know. But I took the second step. I don't want to live on my knees, you know. I will die on my feet, you see. So I went to the next step, and I loved the man, you understand? He did it the way he had to do it because he did a gun day. He did another way of doing it. But I didn't ask y'all to do it that way. So I led it another way. And then you should keep it going. But it goes with integrity. But when I walk out on that stage tonight and see if there's 2,000 people out there, and I see 1,900 of them that's not black, what were we talking about in the first place?
Right.
You understand me? It's about your soul. And you know what? Dr. Detroit proves it. I'm a doctor on your soul while you get your head together.
We love it. The directions I was talking about, and looking at the children today, and looking at the audience that you play to.
Yeah.
What do you think about our young people going into punk rock? What do you think about that kind of music?
Well, if we're going to tell them they can't sing, if we can't tell them they, are you especially talking about any original people?
Oh, well, our black people, our black youth, for
Well, black
specifically, and then the music itself generally.
We would like for them to play more soul music.
Take it in. It's going good, sir.
That's it?